Hello everyone and thanks for watching Edupedia videos. In the last video, we studied about wages and elements of wages. In this video, we will study about compensation and its elements. What is compensation? Money given as a reparation for some loss occurred on the site of the employment is known as compensation. The most important element of the compensation is the variable pay, that is, it is the employee compensation that changes as compared to salary, which is paid in equal proportions throughout the year. Variable pay is used generally to recognize and reward employees' contribution towards company productivity, profitability, teamwork, safety, quality, or some other metric deemed important. The employee who is awarded variable compensation has gone above and beyond his or her job description to contribute to the organization's success. Variable pay is awarded in variety of formats including profit sharing, bonuses, holiday bonus, deferred compensation, cash, and goods and services such as paid trip or Thanksgiving turkey. Variable pay is a significant element of the direct compensation package of a growing number of organizations. The trend is towards more organizations using variable pay and for these organizations to expand eligibility and to increase the prominence of variable pay in total direct compensation package. Variable pay is defined as direct compensation that does not become a permanent part of base pay or salary and which may vary in amount from period to period. Other names for variable pay include incentive compensation, incentives, bonuses, commissions, cash awards, and lump sums. Variable pay can be in the form of short-term, that is 1 year or less, or long-term, 2 years or more incentives and bonuses, and employee ownership program. Incentives are plans that have predetermined criteria and standards as well as understood policies for determining and allocating rewards. Bonuses are awards delivered at the end of the period based on the subjective judgment as to the quality of performance and the rewards that are warranted. It is very important for organizations to have effective variable programs and effective variable pay strategy which guides the design and administration of such programs. These strategies have two critical characteristics. 1. They contribute to the organization's success, and 2. They are good fit to the organizational context. In order for a strategy to contribute to organizational success, it must be aligned with the vision and mission of the organization. Heading the wrong direction at high speed does not bring one closer to the desired destination. An effective strategy should facilitate the attainment of organizational objectives by ensuring that the right plans are implemented and they are administered effectively. A sound variable pay plan strategy should contribute to sustaining the viability of the organization's core capabilities and to leveraging its competitive advantage. The fit of a strategy to the specific context is also critical. It must be feasible given the culture of both the organization and its workforce, and it must be realistic considering the environmental and organizational realities that exist. And the strategy must be well integrated with the organization's strategy and structure as well as its current human resource. It must also be changed to respond appropriately to the changes in the context. Variable pay differs from other forms of compensation such as base pay and benefits. It does not fit an entitlement culture since it is not a career annuity like the salary increase, and it must be earned during each measurement period. From financial perspective, it is a variable cost, whereas salary and benefits are fixed in nature. One of the difficulties associated with administering variable compensation is that it is more difficult to measure the competitiveness of plans. Unlike wages, variable pay varies dramatically for some occupations, transforming the prevailing market average into a broad range rather than a point. One of the positive characteristics of variable pay is that it can be tied to performance at various organizational levels, and it can be based on short-term or long-term performance or the combination of the two. Most of the significant advantages of variable pay over the other forms of compensation is that the costs associated with the plan can be aligned with revenues and performance and thereby vary with revenues in a manner that is economically sound. US organizations used variable pay much more sparingly than its global competitors, and it places them at a disadvantage when the global economy is subject to large variation. When there is a downturn, the need to cut the cost to protect the profitability can force the organizations to cut the headcount and alienate the very people who will be needed during the impending upturn. If direct compensation costs are at least partially variable, dysfunctional downsizing can be minimized, since the cost will flex in sync with the revenues if the variable pay plan is well designed. The motivational potential of variable pay is stronger than the other form of compensation, although the base pay programs that are administered based on performance can be effective motivators. The difficulty of tying base pay adjustments to the specific objective is known to all who have tried. Merit pay programs must also reflect increases in the employee's mastery of the job, critical skills, knowledge, and since the pay structure is typically moved on from annual basis, some of the funds available for the wage increase should be consumed by the need to at least keep the pay rate in the same position and in the same pay range. Variable compensation can result in income that is lower than the last year's, and they can truly provide results that are consistent with one's contribution. Current trends are more towards the use of variable pay, which will be discussed later in different modules. Therefore, organization without a variable pay component will be at a competitive disadvantage, at least for its best performers. Also, variable plans are typically self-funding, which means the result have to be realized before the expense is incurred. This provides an additional source of funding for variable pay, while the base pay adjustment fund must be wrenched out of the budget while competing with the alternative ways of spending organizations' available capital. There are potential disadvantages associated with the variable pay. Budgeting is difficult, and there is great pressure to make all performance criteria, measures and standards clear and defensible to all parties at interest. As more employees operate in a service capacity with no physical product that can be counted or weighed from their work, the task of getting everyone to agree about what really happened during a performance period is increasingly difficult. When there are significant cash awards at stake, the emotions run even higher. Notwithstanding these potential disadvantages, there are several business reasons for considering variable pay. Let us see some of them. The advantages of variable pay from the economics point of view. The conversion of what have been fixed cost to variable cost is an advantage of some significance. The variable pay awards do not compound the way base pay adjustments do, thereby lowering the escalation rates over time. Assuming variable pay is tied to performance, it both allocates awards more optimally and is contingent on the organization's economic ability to pay. Finally, variable pay plans can be customized to fit different business units, providing a localized customization to one's ability to pay and create a focus on its specific objectives. From the point of view of competitive practice, variable pay programs can be an effective tool for attracting and retaining critical skills as well as high performers. Since the existence of a variable pay component in the compensation package offers less of a guarantee but more opportunity relative to income, this type of package will disproportionately attract those confident of their ability to perform well and willing to do so. Leveraging the organization's strength via variable pay plans is another opportunity. An organization experiencing rapid stock price escalation can include a heavy dose of stock options, grants in its plans, thereby giving it a competitive advantage. The flexibility associated with the variable pay plans can enable the organization to emulate the best in its industry in order to stay competitive, which is often not possible with the base pay or benefits. From the point of view of motivation, as already mentioned, this is a major strength of variable pay. Defined objectives or criteria and standards enable the organization to provide a sharp focus on its priorities and to do so at every level. Variable pay awards act as reinforcement for those succeeding and provide a scorecard to enable the people continuously to evaluate the results. To the extent that the people are provided with shared destiny using group incentives, there can be a strong motivation to support each other and to work cooperatively rather than competing in a dysfunctional manner. The prerequisites to performance are the ability to perform, being allowed to do what it takes, the desire to perform, and the knowledge of what constitutes performance. Variable pay plans can function to ensure these prerequisites are in place. HR can use variable pay in their initiatives to promote high levels of performance at individual, group, and organization-wide levels. From the communication point of view, variable compensation, particularly if designed as an incentive, is one of the strongest signals an organization can send to its people as to what is important. By continually measuring results, high quality feedback can be provided, enabling people to know how they are doing and how to do better. By making employees eligible for variable pay awards, it sends the message that what they do counts and the organization is willing to show its appreciation tangibly. Finally, the criteria used in variable pay plans can promote the importance of mission attainment and of leaving the defined values on the way there. The other reasons for considering the variable compensation is these plans can be used to communicate and direct the change from the entitlement culture to a performance culture, as well as promoting employee engagement. Variable pay can also provide the sense of ownership even for organizations not able or willing to use stock or share equity. Emotional ownership can produce results even though financial ownership is not possible. By balancing the definition of performance to include both the short term and the long term, it is possible to elicit a balanced perspective. Short-term maximization at the expense of long-term optimization is a danger that is fueled by having all rewards tied to performance, which many organizations do. Finally, a reason for using a variable pay is that it works, depending on the soundness of the strategy and the plans, which can be the good news or the bad news. Much damage has been done by variable pay plans that motivated the workforce to do the wrong things. It is therefore necessary that a variable pay plan be respected much the same way an electrician respects a wire carrying a high voltage. We will see the types of variable pay plans in our next video. Thanks for watching.